Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another video off the beaten path. So today we're going to continue working on the camper, and the goal this week is to try to get the septic line installed. So we had this 4-inch PVC pipe that was left behind by the previous owners, and we got several lengths of these. I think I probably have like two or three more of these. So yeah, that's what I'm using right now. We also have an inlet over here for our septic system, and it just has a cap. But I bought a T fitting for this, so I'm gonna have to play around over here and try to get that to work. The previous owners, they had their camper set up right over here, and they were using that inlet for their septic line. Yeah, they were doing that when they were building the cabin. They installed the septic system, start pouring foundation, and as they were building the stick frame of the cabin, they had their camper, I believe, on this side, and yeah, running their black and gray water. So that's one thing. Another thing I've been trying to get a hold of, or a handle of, is the mice. You know, someone had commented on another video that the mice are going to wreak havoc on the trailer, and really they've been wreaking havoc on everything. The vehicles, the trucks, they get inside the cabin, and I've been setting up you know, just simple little mouse traps, and they work. You know, put a little bit of, like, I've been using peanut butter, and we get them, we kill them, but you know, they're everywhere out here. There's no shortage of mice. So the other day I was just kind of like, you know, looking around, kind of getting a parts list of things I need for the septic line right here. And this little bracket right here, the screw head came out right here, so I ran 2 more self tappers just to secure this, because this was all just like bouncing around and just floating, and I'm like, okay, I need to work right here and attach stuff, and I can't have this all flimsy and wobbly, right? I don't want to crack nothing. And then there was this plastic liner. It's right there. It's like a cardboard style plastic liner underneath the trailer here, covering the water tanks, or it's actually the black tank and that's the gray tank. But there was just an easy opening right there, and I'm like, okay, that's an obvious, you know, little hole or little area that the mice are going into. And I start tapping underneath it, you know, and I can just hear their little poops just bouncing all around. And sure enough, I unscrewed it all, and there was a massive basketball size nest in there, bunch of poop, bunch of pee, and they clearly made a little home underneath here. So I had, you know, put this little board here so I can crawl underneath, and basically what I'm planning to try to do is block off any access points that they could be using to get inside the camper. We found one, and it's the plumbing lines. You know, they, under the sink, they drill holes for the plumbing, and it's just, you know, an oversized hole so the PVC pipe can go through the floor, and that's just an easy way for the mice to get up in there. So that's another little thing I'm gonna kind of be doing. You know, I may show a little bit of it, but I know that's extremely boring and whatever, but it's something that needs to get done. We may not block them 100%, but we don't want to leave the door wide open, you know. figuratively speaking. You know, we don't want to just leave open access points for the mice and bugs and whatever just to get in there super easy. So I ended up picking up, I got more of these boards here, but I'll show you some of this spray that I got. Where's it at? Right here. This is a rodent blocker expanding foam. So I use this already underneath the sink, so I still have a full can pretty much, and I think I have one more in the container over there. So this is what I want to use. So I'm going to continue to crawl underneath there, find areas, and just put the foam stuff. I actually want to do it over here as well. So in the front, you can see right here, see, this is that cardboard stuff, and you can see there's a pipe. I'll go on the other side. This is the freshwater holding tanks on this side, so you can see city water or freshwater, but just like this. Okay, so this is just a valve, I think, to, oh, hi Luna. Just a valve to flush the water. But you can see, you know, there's little cuts, and it's easy for mice to get in there. So I think I'm gonna drop this one down as well and add extra foam wherever I can, and just do what I can to help prevent them to getting inside. I'm not too sure what else I could do to, you know, keep these mice away. I don't want to put too many traps down, because actually little Rocco goes to the mouse traps and he's been getting hit by a few of them, which kind of sucks. We don't want him getting hurt. We don't want to do poison, because sometimes we don't want the dogs to eat the poison. And then if the mice eat the poison and go hide in some little hole somewhere in the trailer, then they just die, and then you get that smell. So we're kind of, we don't know exactly what's the best route. We would love to get some cats, you know, get a couple barn cats. They could chase off all the little critters and catch them and stuff. But we're not there yet, you know, we're not ready for no cats. So, I don't know. A couple little things I'm gonna be doing this week, all just focusing on the camper trailer. Again, our goal is to get the camper livable, and we want to build a full-on carport over the camper, because right now it's just getting beat by the sun. And then we want the carport built before winter, because we don't want just the snow sitting on top of it, things like that. So we want to protect the camper as best as we can. So that's our main goal right now. All right, so I'm over here by the entryway. Here's our driveway right there. And this is another just pile of leftover material, building materials, I guess. Again, from the previous owner. I'm gonna get some of these 2x4s. They're all riddled with nails and brackets and just stuff. There's, you know, here's a bunch of mouse poop. It is really not that good of wood. The other stuff that we collected, more by the cabin, that stuff was slightly better condition than this stuff. Definitely not as many nails, and not as weathered. And there's a couple decent ones, I guess. Like, you know, like this one's all right, but you know, it's full of nails. you know. But I'm thinking I'm going to use some of these 2x4s and make some type of support for that septic line, that 4-inch PVC pipe. Because that's about a good, 30-foot span, roughly. So I think I'm going to get several pieces of this 2x4 and just screw them together. So it doesn't really matter that they have nails. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of cutting and trimming, maybe just the ends of them so I can butt them up. And then just try to screw them together, make some little legs so they can just be supported, and obviously at a downgrade so everything flows down into the septic line. But yeah, bunch of stuff. Here's some larger planks. Actually, something like that might work pretty well too. I got some bigger beam material, but yeah, a lot of it's just really old and weathered. I may end up just taking a lot of this to the junkyard. I would just burn it all, but then I have to figure out a way to collect all the nails, and I don't have an efficient way to do that yet. And taking stuff to the dump honestly was very inexpensive. They didn't charge a lot, so eventually I'm gonna come and clean this area out. I haven't really messed with it because it's kind of out of sight. The cabin is over there, so if I'm not like directly like staring at it every single day as soon as I walk out of the cabin, it's not that big of a deal to me. But I do, it is the entrance to the cabin, and I do want to clean all this up, all the brush, eventually. It's just me right now doing everything, and I can only get so much done by myself, and I only have so many tools and so much equipment, so things are a little bit at a slower pace, but that's all right. Things are still getting done, and we're still making progress, and that's what counts. So I'm gonna sift through this and pick out a couple boards I think will work for this little project, and yeah, head back. All right, got some lumber loaded up. I already started messing with a little bit of it, just 2 of them. So I pulled out a few nails, I cut the ends off, got those brackets off and stuff. So my general idea is to butt them up like this, okay, and then have the piping rest right on top, and then I'm gonna get more wood, maybe like 4 or 5 inches, a little block, and screw them to the sides right here with little I guess little arms, I guess you want to call it, on the little supports, so this doesn't fall off. And I'll just do them sporadically through here. So I have the whole run right here, which is, I don't know, say roughly 30 feet or so, and I'm just going to build like 1 or 2 sections with this scrap wood. I don't want to get too far along and then it's like, oh, it doesn't work, and I spent all this time and energy messing with this junky wood when the idea is not working, So I'm gonna get a couple going. I only got a few, maybe 10 or 12 of these 2x4s. So I'm gonna continue pulling some nails out, cutting off the ends, squaring them up, and then yeah, I'm just gonna build like a section, I guess, and see if it'll work. It should work, Now I know all this wood is super old and weathered and warped and bowing, and I don't really care. It's just to hold this PVC pipe in line. I think what we're going to eventually do is get some exterior paint. Next time we're in town, we'll get some paint and just paint over everything, and hopefully it'll look a little better. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna build some stuff and show you what I got. Okay, change of plans here. So I went back and I picked up 2 of these beams. They're like 4x6. I tried doing the 4x4 wood, but they're just too old, too warped and bowed. When I tried screwing them together, they were starting to crack, and I would have needed a lot of screws just to keep them all together. So that idea didn't work out. You know, it happens. Got an idea, you try it out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. This time it did not. So second idea, second plan is using these beams, and I'm going to run them just like this, the 6 inches long ways, I guess. And basically I'll just build like 2 bridges. You know, I'm just going to get some 2x4s and just put some legs down, and yeah, just run them. It's big enough, it's stiff enough, you know, it'll definitely just support that plastic PVC, you know. So yeah, I'm just gonna gather all the parts for today, and I think what I need to do is attach the T fitting to the septic inlet. And then I think for the connection that goes to the camper trailer, I'm just gonna use a standard, what is it called? Like the accordion style connection when you like go to a campsite or something. I don't know the proper name for it, but it has that twist lock thing that locks onto the actual camper, you know. And I kind of want something semi removable, you know, something I can easily remove and pull the trailer out. I don't want to permanently like hard, you know, hard mount the line to the trailer, because I want to be able to remove the trailer. So I have other things to do today. So yeah, I think I'm just going to gather the parts, put them over there, kind of line them up, and then call this project, you know, it for today. Just put it on pause until I get more parts. I still need to figure out how I'm going to connect that T to the septic line. I think I need more parts. So yeah, that's what I got going on. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I'll have more when I get more parts. All right, so made some progress with the septic line. Check this out. So I'll start over here where Luna is hanging out. Hi, Luna. All right, so here's the standard like accordion style hose I was talking about. So it's connected right there, and it just flows inside the PVC pipe, probably like a good 2 or 3 feet, something like that. And yeah, just got some 2x4s, got it going downhill. Again, everything is just scrap materials of stuff left behind. The PVC pipe was left behind, all the wood. Really the only thing I purchased was the screws, you know, the decking screws. This was leftover like fence material from Max's little gate fence that I built for him. Got a little bit of a gap right here, but it shouldn't be too bad. Now this one I gotta kind of play with a little bit. Maybe put a little bit more dirt right there, or put a rock, like a piece of flagstone under there, just to lift this side up just a little bit. And same over there. But the concept is there. And then right here, you know, I just did 2 of these, and it sandwiches it in there. It's pretty stiff, so that's definitely not coming out or going anywhere. And then here I had this little 45 here, and it fits you know, okay. I think it may work for right now. I may just end up like, I don't know, finding like a rubber hose, you know, with two hose clamps, and put that in there to sandwich that and seal that off. I wanted to use this T, you know. I would rather use this and then get another threaded cap for the top, because we do have like a porta potty style deal, and so what we do to empty it, we just come and pour it in here and you know, pour it into our septic system. But this might get us going for right now. Also, what I haven't done yet, and I think I need to do now that, you know, things are getting built, it is a little bit like wobbly, you know. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting like a little bracing on the bottom. So let me see. So something kind of like this. Something like that. And then screw this in here. And then that way that'll help with the back and forth wobble. So I think I might do that. You know, I got 2 feet over there, just all along. But it's progress. It's slowly getting there. So I'm gonna keep working on it, and I think as a trial run we'll just do like gray water, not using the toilet, so like the sink and the shower, just in case there are leaks or things like that. It's just gray water, you know. And if everything's going well, everything's fine, then we can start using the restroom inside the camper. So it's getting close. Yeah. Additionally, I think I may also end up burning the wood to semi-preserve it, or maybe paint it. I don't know. Burning it just is easier. You know, it's easy to just get that blowtorch out again and just char it. But we'll see. A few more things to do, and then I'll show you somewhat the finished result. All right, so another day working on septic system. I got another one of the beams over here, and I just got done burning it. I added these little extra feet down here, so it'll help with the back and forth rocking. And yeah, looks pretty good. I'm just kind of letting it cool down, misting it with a little bit of water, and I'm gonna put this one in place, grab the other one. You can see the difference. You know, I think it's gonna look kind of cool. I think I may still end up putting some like waterproofing sealant on it, but we'll see. That might be later on. We don't really have much more rain in the forecast, so I'm not really too worried about it. So yeah, I'm gonna put this one back, grab the other one, put some little feet on that one, and yeah, we should be pretty good to maybe test this thing pretty soon. I still need a few more parts for the inlet area right there. And then I kind of wanted to do something over here. So again, like this just kind of just goes in there. So I was thinking maybe putting some kind of a cap right there that fits the 4-inch, but then with like a 3-inch hole for this part, just so it's not just so open, you know. Not sure yet what I'm gonna do, but I think putting something right there would be pretty good. So all right, I'm gonna swap these out. Hi, Luna. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Are you on guard right now? Good girl. All right, here it is. Back in place, all burned and charred. I think it looks, honestly, it looks way better. It's crazy with just burning it, how it just changes it, you know. Went from old junky, you know, weathered wood to it actually looks pretty decent. So yeah, it's pretty much done for now. I think all I need again is the rubber coupling for right here, the 4-inch, so I can just, you know, secure this right in here. Probably put one right here, put one right here, and then I actually have forgot that I had this, but one of these. It's a reducer coupler, so it went from the 4-inch to the 3-inch, and I just kind of cranked it down pretty good, and it's pretty, you know, it's pretty snug on this. And then I added these because this was a little bit on the wobbly, flimsy side. So obviously I didn't burn them. I'm just gonna unscrew them and burn them separately, so I don't have to move everything again. And it should hold it. It's holding it right here. This will hold this part, and you know, we'll see. That's what I'm saying. I got to test it. If this becomes an issue, I doubt it will, but if for some reason it starts to like sag or something, which I don't think it will, but if it does, I can back this up, you know, and just adjust it. But it's definitely more stable, you know, no more wobbles. These little feet work pretty well. If I need to, I was thinking I could drill a hole through here and run like a stake through it, just to secure it more, keep it more strong, because again, the wind out here is just crazy. I feel like absolutely everything needs to be weighed down, anchored down. But yeah, what else? Right in this area, it's very low grade. I had the level on it, so if I need to, I can raise that area up. I like use the shovel right there, and I kind of flatten the dirt and build stuff just a little bit, so it's just nice and kind of has a nice smooth transition. But if I need to raise this area up just a little bit so that it flows better, I can go in and do that. But I'll determine that when I start testing it. We're not going to test it just yet, but I think it'll be okay, because this one is a pretty steep slope. So I figure like whatever liquid is in there, it'll get some good momentum and then finish off and then dump. So again, I'm just gonna test it out with just the gray water first. So we'll start using the sinks, use the shower. As the gray tank fills up, we'll flush it and just see what happens. Hopefully there's no leaks and things are starting to work out. But that'll end up being another day, another week. But I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching the video. Again, if you're new and you're not subscribed, please subscribe, help us out, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. I try to reply to everybody, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.